patient endurance, and long suffering. Also included in macrothumia is the ability to endure persecution and ill treatment. It describes a person who has the power to exercise revenge, but instead exercises restraint. We call them quiet people, superheroes. Superheroes I've known personally in my life, such as Judy Rogers, the late Judy Rogers, member of Trinity United Church of Christ in Chicago, and even my mother, Annie Basie. People who would be quiet. They'd go through some stuff. People could mistreat them. They'd just be quiet about it, may even cry about it. Write about it. Keep a journal like Judy did. My mother cried many times about what people did to her. And I had to grow into that. For at a younger age, macrothumia was not even close to me, close to my mind, close to my being. I'll give you an example. To this day, it's been some 20 years, 20 plus years, matter of fact. I don't know what was said, but I was driving a bus. I got to the terminal at Navy Pier. My mother was there. Supervisor had said something to her, and my mother just was crying. She had tears in her eyes. She wiped those tears away and was ready to continue her day. She wouldn't share what it was. She had macrothumia. I didn't. Because she didn't share what it was, but I knew something that the supervisor said had hurt her. My mother pulled away. I was on my way to put that supervisor in Lake Michigan. But God watch out for fools and babies, because another supervisor who doesn't even work that district just so happened to pull up. One that was familiar with me and I with her. Saved me. Well, let me get back to it. People who exercise macrothumia pick their battles, and once the battle is chosen, they fight it to the end, no matter what it takes. These are those who battle cancer not only by being proactive in their life, but advocating for others. They educate others, and they fight not just for self, but for others. These are those people who have been diagnosed with mental illness, but instead of just medicating, they advocate. They advocate for others. They campaign for awareness, and they seek to help others discover that they are the 1 in 5 who have not been diagnosed. These are those who fight the progression of HIV and AIDS. They advocate for testing. They fight to try to find a cure through education and awareness, although they themselves are positively negative. These are those people who fight for others to have the same rights that they do. White people who represent Black Lives Matter, civilians standing with Black Lives Matter, legal citizens standing for those who are not here legally, and heterosexuals who will pick up the plight for the LGBT plus community. It was Rick Renner in his book Sparkling Gems from the Greek, when speaking on kindness, noted that the Greek word Christos is applied to interpersonal relationships because it conveys the idea of being adaptable to others. That is to say, instead of harshly requiring everyone to adapt to them, this person seeks to become adaptable to the needs and attitudes of those around them. A person who exudes kindness is adaptive and not assimilative. Anybody can assimilate. A person who exudes kindness is adaptive without compromising who they are and not being chameleonic. They do not put on airs, and they do not look for anything in return. And let me just tell you, don't mistake kindness for gift giving. Not only is kindness adaptive, but kindness is open-minded and kindness is humble. Why? Because kindness is love. And although akin to kindness, goodness, as used in the scripture, denotes not only that which is pleasurable, but it also denotes that which is beneficent. Goodness is not what we think. When we say, oh, whatever tastes good is not good for you. That's not goodness. Goodness is not the pleasure we experience in sin. Goodness is not what we think when we say, I have a good man, a good woman, a good job, a good habit. All that's not goodness. Goodness is the basis of utilitarianism. Goodness is love. Goodness, by me saying goodness is the basis of utilitarianism, I'm saying goodness is love. In other words, goodness is doing that which is good for the greater good of the people. Whatever benefits the greater good. That is goodness. That is love. My friends, I would be oversimplifying if I went beyond saying that faithfulness is the state of being in which it is known that a person can be counted on. There's no need for me to explain that faithfulness is the concept of unfailingly remaining loyal to someone or something and putting that loyalty into consistent practice regardless of extenuating circumstances. But I will tell you this. What or who a person loves, they will be faithful to. When a person loves something or someone, they will be there through thick and thin. In sickness and in health, for better, for worse, for richer, for poorer,